Well, good evening, everybody. How are we all? All
Good
good, I
evening.
hope.
Oh,
We've still
yeah,
messing
yeah.
around, getting stuck in the Neverland of YouTube. He'll be here at some point, I'm sure. Chris again has abandoned us forever, so I don't know why he's even on the intro. That part timer, he's not even here anymore.
Has he gone?
He can be binned off of that forever. No point in having him on there. But yeah, welcome to the Mags on 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 3. We appreciate you joining us. The usual spiel. Sorry, I know you get bored of hearing it, but got to do it. Hit the likes or dislikes, whatever. That one lad who loves me, you can hit the unlike for me. Put the comments in, all those lovely things. Join, because we do lots of cool things in the background, and all that sort of stuff. So thank you very much for joining. We've got lots to talk about. The light show, what's up with that possibly? I got some positives and negatives from that show. Let's start with positives. I'd rather say positive for now. I thought it was really spectacular. I really thought it was brilliant. I know what they're going for. They're going for the same. So anyone that's been to Disneyland, Florida, and seen the Animal Kingdom version of this, it's very similar technology they're using, where they're projecting the animals through the water, and Seller have obviously use that technology to put the players through it. And yeah, I just thought they've tried to do something for the fans. They at least they put something on for free. They haven't charged anything. The key stuff was absolutely packed. They've tried to do something for just to say welcome and thank you and all that. And I thought they did a really good job. I mean, we're going to get into some of the naysayers, but what do you guys think of the show? I thought it was a really nice thing they did.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I thought it was great for that connection to the fans again. It was lovely to see in out of season the fact that they're still willing to put a show on for the fans and keep that connection going. I know it wasn't an easy thing to do because the wind was blowing quite well at the time there, and it was blowing a lot of the smoke away from the pictures that they were generating on the smoke area, which obviously spoilt it for a few. But from my point of view, I just thought, you got to take your hats off to them. You got to take your hat off to Seller and say, well done for at least connecting again with the fans. Some lovely historical stuff. As well, and it was the sing along at the start. It was like it's all that that they've tried to reach every avenue, if you like. Shearer and Wynn walking across the water, which was a lovely touch. Like I said, I think it was a little bit spoilt on the first one. The second one was much better, I must admit. Again, because it was a bit darker and everything else, so you got a better view of the pictures if the people stood around or waited around to watch the second one. I think it was much better. But from my point of view, I don't think they could have done anything else, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, we needed that in there because that's a classic. But Newcastle history forever. That. What do you two think? I don't know if both of you saw it or not, but
yeah, I saw it. I saw the video of it. Yeah, I was hoping it would be a big announcement of Lloyd Kelly, but no, it was good. It was actually good. The bit where Bobby was speaking, that was very nice, isn't it?
Very emotional.
That must have been one of his last. That must have been one of his last public things that he said, because it sounded you could hear his voice. It was obviously late on in his life, towards the end. But yeah, I mean, always love that kind of stuff. Yeah, I think it's nice, these little touches, and I can imagine if you're kind of going out on a Saturday night and you go and see that, it'll get you right in the mood for a good night out. But anyone who was there, I guess it'd be interesting to hear your thoughts, see what you made of it. Anyone in the chat?
Yeah, looking at it, I think a few people went by the looks of it, which is nice. So yeah, get your thoughts in. Roy, what did you make of it? If you saw it or
Yeah, I watched the one Win sent, and then I watched a few of the other ones as well. I wish I was there. It was just
great.
We both said that.
Yeah, and it's good to see the club still connecting with us. And some people thought, oh, no, they're not interested, and it's all about the Saudi League and stuff. But I think this is the proof to us that the project's still on, and it's just going to get better and better slowly. And it's good that they recognize that, because it was all about the club's history and then showing a bit of the last season and stuff. So, I can't wait till the next season to start.
Yeah,
they can take our PSR, but they can never take our freedom. We're always going to be fighting for.
Love that. Love that.
The negative for me was some of the and there were some numpties online, and I know they always are, but I saw a small group. It was a small group of fans, but you just can't please anyone. Small group of fans going, "Is that it? Is that all they're doing? What was the point? What was the point of doing that? There's no point to it. Why did they do it? Like, it just showed a few pictures of Shearer. Oh, I just don't know what these people want sometimes. It honestly gives me a headache.
The one with the birds as well.
The birds are in trouble. The pollution's in trouble. Whatever. It's just like
I went online, and the guy's actually Newcastle support as well. And I thought,
all right,
negative.
it's a real deal. Is it the same guy who does the anti-Saudi thing?
I just saw his profile and Newcastle fan. I can't remember what I wrote. I just read it, man. So some people just can't be positive, whatever you do.
No, nothing. Like, you can't do nothing. Like, someone was like, "Oh, so it wasn't a big announcement of a player," and it's like, the transfer one hasn't even opened. How can I announce a player? You can't. What do you mean? Like, we're going to post up, Lloyd Kelly up there and be like, "Oh, there he is. We signed him."
Ronaldo coming down on the magic carpet. That'd been good.
I could just don't know what what some of these people want. Going on at them and going like, "Oh, this is just a Saudi, we're just trying to get us fall in love with them, and they're just using Shearer and Bobby Robson to get us on." It's just like, guys, God's sake! Like,
but this is the opposite of what the previous ownership was doing, right? He was ignoring all of that, putting the statues in the skip around the back, and so we can't have it both ways. This is a lot better than that. At least we're acknowledging the legends of the club. We're not going. We haven't acknowledged Royal Fox yet, but we're acknowledging most of the legends, and we're getting to the point where it's quite, it's inclusive. I think Kevin Keegan's the one. I'd like to see a bit more of him. I haven't seen much of Kevin popping up on stuff, but apart from that, I'm all good with it.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. Like, I guess they got to try and get as much in as they can. And I still wonder whether, I don't know if, I'm not saying this is planned or anything, but I still wonder if they're going to name like a stand after him. Like, I know that most time that's done for when people pass away, but not all the time. There are some people that are named after when they're alive. But I think that'd be a really cool thing, to have like a Kevin Keegan.
If not a statue, then a stand would be better than a statue, obviously. But like, if you can't do a stand, at least get a statue for the guy.
He certainly deserves one.
Yeah, he'd be my next statue. I don't know if you guys agree. I don't know if you've got like another person in mind.
I think if they want to, again, like, it's an easy win for fans, isn't it? It's an easy.
Yeah.
If they come out next week and go, "We're building a Kevin Keegan statue," who the hell is going to be? Well, maybe some of these numpties who don't like it, but most Newcastle fans are like, "That's brilliant. That's fantastic. Like, of course, he deserves a statue." Rude Hullett maybe doesn't deserve one, but Gravesines.
Well, Hullett was great in that friendly against Reading, though, wasn't he? When he went, "No, your players aren't good enough," and he came and played better than all the. He's about 40 years old.
John Carver should get one.
Yeah,
best manager in the league.
Bastos stand maybe.
Yeah.
The player most linked with us ever.
Yeah.
Bastos.
Pardew stand.
The Pardew stand, yeah. That'll be him headbutting that lad from Wolves, wouldn't it? That'll be
God,
that.
yeah. That was Hull. It was Hull.
Ashley Toilet.
You're getting a bit of stick in the chat,
Ashley
mate.
Toilet.
Who's getting
What,
stick?
me? What have I done?
No, it's not stick. It's they're talking about this going.
Right. It's gonna be done, man. Don't worry.
Lots of shavers in here, so they're all on him.
We've only got one clean-shaven member of this quartet at the moment.
Yeah.
It'll be two by the end of the show.
By the end of the show, wow, is he just going to do it like simultaneously through the show?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
maximum halfway through, and you'll have like half a beard and half clean shaved.
get some wax
No,
strips
it's not.
in there, Ron.
It's not happening tonight.
No, it's not. You got to keep it for a while.
No, I'll shave. I'll shave it. Hopefully this week.
Got to build up. We've got to build it up. Do a live watch along.
Drum roll. I'll probably film myself doing it, and then I'll send the video.
Okay.
And then you can post the video, and then there's suddenly the potato head turns up. Potato with eyebrows.
When he decides to come to work, yeah, he's honestly, I think he's quit this channel. I don't know why it's called American Magpie anymore. Whatever it should be, just called. We run it, and he just has all the time off.
Yeah.
No, we love.
Where's when?
He's otherwise engaged. Bless him. He's all right. He's just can't. He might make it a bit later, but he's just a bit engaged. Otherwise, got bits and pieces on. But he did send us some Raven reports last night, which were really helpful and really nice, and filmed the show for us. So that was really good. I saw him in a few people's videos in there in the forefront of everything. So that was good. Yeah, I mean, so I thought it was brilliant. Some of these naysayers just whatever. I mean, it just can't be happy with nothing. Some people, they want Makashi back, I think, and they want us to be, in bins doing ice baths again or something, in paddling pools, doing therapy again. Some of this lot. I mean, honestly, it's just ridiculous. The other news we saw today, back to real Newcastle news. Well, teams thinking their players worth more money than they think they are. So Burnley have been subject to apparently a bid from us, about £16 million for Trafford. But the news today was coming out saying, "Oh no, we don't want that. 20 would probably get him, but actually we want 40 because we have to give some money to Man City."
Yeah.
It's just every time. It's just this whole thing.
They're saying 30 now, and they're sort of evened up to 30, and apparently Chelsea are in the mix by then.
Chelsea can take him if they want 30.
30 million seems way too much. I thought, and I think Gary's on the same boat as me, that 20 million's worth of punt because he's 21. He's got potential. We know he's a great shot stopper, and his distribution's good. If he bulks up a bit, he could be a good keeper. But 20 million, you take a punt on him, sure. But once it starts getting to 30 and 40 million, you may as well go for a top goalkeeper at that point.
Yeah.
Try and get
there was a good thing on X. I can't remember the lad's name now, where he had looked back at all the keepers, all the top keepers, and looked at their stats at the age of 21, where obviously Trafford is. And there's a lot of resemblances, and in some ways, Trafford's head and shoulders above where these top goalkeepers were at his age. And I think people have got to take that into consideration. He's nowhere near the finished article. We know that, but he certainly isn't worth £30+ million. Because at the end of the day, it's still a gamble, and it's still a massive chunk of change that we need to strengthen much more needed places, in my opinion. Yes, we need a goalkeeper, but if you're going to fork out that type of money, I believe Mamadashvili is still available for 41 million. So, who would you rather have if you were paying out that much money?
Yeah, I think it's 41. Is it 41 million euros, which would be what, 36 million pounds or something?
No, I think it's 41 million pounds. It's obviously it's been converted down.
Yeah, then I would probably just go for that because that could be transformative immediately. So yeah, I'd be up for that. But I think with the Trafford thing, I look at Shay Given when he came to us. He was 21, wasn't he? We got him on the cheap, really. But he was quite error prone early on. We forget, first couple of seasons, he made a lot of silly mistakes, and then he became a top goalkeeper. About, I think when Bobby was manager, about 24, 25, 24, I think he was. And I think so. Trafford, we could be looking at 3 more years of development till we see where his ceiling is, really. Or maybe more. So I would be up for it. If I'm hoping it's just paper talk. Every day there's a different story about this, isn't there? or Mamadashvili, we've agreed.
Especially when it comes to us. I mean, they're they're desperate to sell Bruno. I mean, they're absolutely desperate for it. Some of these papers, as if he's desperate to leave and all this rubbish they keep making up. He is not desperate to go anyway. He's happy here, but they just can't wait. And they want Minty to go to Liverpool because it's going to be this dream. Oh, him and Arnie Slot are going to have this dream.
Yeah, that's worrying.
Like,
I hope that is just paper talk. I'd hate that if Minte went to Liverpool. I mean, we haven't seen him kick a ball for Newcastle, so
it would be a bit like what was the point in buying him?
Well, we get the profit, wouldn't we? Immediate profit, but still, it'd be a shame if he goes on to be a top player.
Yeah, that's the only negative, really.
There must be a way we can just ship Miggy out. Come on, push him out the door.
Leicester after Longstaff as well.
Yeah, I was about to say there's been some rumours about Longstaff's future, about them, thinking he's a replacement for their midfield, because they're going to lose some players. So they're thinking
Ndidi, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a great replacement.
What's happening with Ndidi? He's a free, isn't he? A free agent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's just going. There's no mention of him or anybody coming in for him. He's literally just going.
Okay, and Iheanacho's another one, isn't he? So there's a lot of Leicester Newcastle rumours floating around.
Yeah, the Iheanacho one doesn't fill me with much positivity. It's the same sort of reaction that I get to Calvert-Lewin being linked to us. It's kind of like, yeah, it's just kind of like.
I prefer Calvert-Lewin to Iheanacho. They're the same age, actually.
Yeah, it's just kind of like Iheanacho had a purple patch in the Premier League when he was with Man City. He played okay for Leicester here and there, but he hasn't really featured this year much. Vardy's been the main man, which is obvious. But again, it just feels a bit like, what. That's a bit of a lackluster signing for me. I hate to speak badly of someone, but it's just kind of like, what is that? The person that's going to get us to Champions League football? Like, really? Like, that's the sign that's going to get us to where we want to be.
He got 5 goals last season, didn't he? 5 championship goals in 26 games or something. So yeah, it's quite. But I don't know how many he started. But that's not a great.
Not a great return, especially when Dwight Gale was getting like 20-odd goals and couldn't score. Couldn't score for his life in the Premier League, and there was that.
Armstrong.
Yeah, big goal. Lots of people said about Sancho. Man United have kind of said about Sancho kind of being
That's one that would interest me, Paul. I think because he can play on the right wing. If the price was right, that would be a good little. That'd be worth a go, wouldn't it? I think he's a real.
Do you think they would sell to us? Because we are, as much as I hate to, admit it, we are now a direct rival to them. Yeah. Do you think they would be a bit nervous to sell to us, or do you think they wouldn't really care?
Could we lure someone into the deal so you can have? Who do we want to get rid of? You can have Longstaff there. You can have. I don't know. There must be someone that we can throw in.
Give him the Vravka back for now.
Oh yeah. The Man United fan. You can have him.
I'd have him. It was 40 million, they said. But I'd have him for 40 million.
That's not a lot. They paid 70 million for him.
It's whether he stays, though, isn't it? That's what they were saying. If he stays, obviously there's going to be no apology, so he's going to be shipped out. But the word on the street, obviously, if you listen to the papers, they're still not sure whether he's got his job. Ten Hag, so I think it all depends on where we are with him. If he stays, then I think he could go. I mean, obviously people were linking us to Mason Greenwood, and to be fair,
no, that one.
There's just no way, no way on God's earth that I would even consider Mason Greenwood at the club. So I mean, to be fair, mate, there's so much out there. I think at the minute we've been linked to 110 people. And it's just absolutely crazy. The one thing you look at it and you say, Iheanacho, he's 27. He's not even played in the Championship. No. So even though he's going on a free, what are you getting? What are you getting for the money? he's got nothing at all to even give him a wage at the minute. I think he really needs to look at going and getting his game back, because unfortunately he's lost a lot of of confidence, if you call it confidence. But to me, he seems very much like one of these players that's very emotional. And if he gets dropped or whatever, you see this, rattle being thrown, and it seems as if it just affects his game completely. So would he come and be a number 3 striker? I can't see it myself.
That's the only thing. That's the only condition I would take him under, is if we just put him in the squad. Told him you might play 5 games this season or something. Basically, he would be like Mark Gillespie, but of the strikers.
Yeah.
So I would just have him come in now and again if you desperately needed him. Or I think he's the one thing about him is he's always seems to be a player who can come off the bench and adapt to the game quite quickly. So that's the only thing in his defence that I would say, yeah, I'll probably see that. But yeah, he's not. If we come into this window and we start signing, I mean, Lloyd Kelly I'm okay with, but if we end up with Trafford and Iheanacho and a couple more like that, I think we could end up potentially much weaker after the window than we go into it. If we're letting Trippier go and Wilson, 2 or 3 more like that, yeah. So we've got to be careful. Got to play this right, Would you guys take 15 million for the Tripster? Is that someone? If Saudi came in,
probably.
Yeah, I'll say.
I think you'd have to, wouldn't you? At his age now,
he's looking a bit off the
he doesn't look he doesn't look up to the pace of the game anymore. He's like I say, since his withdrawal from England, he just doesn't look the same player. Full stop, does he?
No. He did an interview, didn't he, with Gary Neville? Have you seen that one? He didn't really mention Newcastle at all. They kept asking him all these questions, and he was.
Well, he just mentioned St James's Park, didn't he, as his best ground that he's played at?
Oh, did he say? I didn't hear that. But the one he's just done today. He said Ajax. I thought he said Ajax was the best stadium he played at.
I think he said if you look at Ajax was the best game that he's played in, because they were 3-0 down, I believe, when he was playing at Tottenham, and they got a 3-3 draw. He said that was the best game that he's ever played in as a game. But he says the best atmosphere is St James's, and the best manager is Simeone. And then he said, "Sorry, Eddie," and that.
I saw that. Yeah. Which I can understand. Simeone's a great manager, isn't he? But.
I still love that story about Simeone trying to stop the plane when he was trying to come to Newcastle, and Simeone asked him one last time, "Are you sure you want to go?" I love that. Yeah, it's brilliant. That just shows how much Simeone rated him as a player and as a person. Simeone moved him into his little complex as well, didn't he? When he moved up there. Made him feel a real part of the community. So, maybe that's why he has a different relationship with him. I mean, look, Eddie Howe's not, Diego Simeone, not yet anyway. I mean, he had us playing some of their tactics that seemed to have disappeared a little bit, which is a shame, because I actually quite like being hated by every team in the league. I quite like that because, I love that whole thing of, we're not here to be popular, we're here to compete, and that's what. Yeah. Always wanted that. Who cares if you're not liked?
Maybe we'll be back in the shithousery next season. You never know.
I hope so, because you know what? I love all that. I love pissing off Arteta, seeing him blow a gasket over nothing. I love seeing Ten Hag make up all 50 excuses, that he has to think of when they're crap. You have to, and then you got Pep, who just does sometimes. He's normally classy about Newcastle most of the time, Pep. So I'll give him a pass for now, but. Klopp, luckily we'd have to put with Klopp either, because his excuses would beat my nut in when he said, what was it? The wind was too hard one time. Remember that one? Yeah, he said that the wind was too strong for the players.
Oh, I don't need Great manager, but I think
he's gone anyway. Thank God.
Yeah, thank God. I mean, Arne Slot, a funny old he's a funny old manager. I don't know. They're going to be a funny team next season, Liverpool. It's going to be really interesting to see how they respond to losing such a manager like Klopp. Are they going to go Man United and kind of, be lackluster? Or are they going to, because you'd think they're going to lose some players with that as well.
They got a few. They need to have a turnover of a few of the players, and a few of them are like Salah's still a fantastic player, but he's 32, 33. At some point, they're going to have to find someone to replace.
Do you think
They've
he's
done it
there,
really well.
he's there next season?
One more
think
season,
so?
I reckon.
Do you think
Yeah,
so? Yeah.
Well, we could swap him for Longstaff, couldn't we?
Yeah.
We're all desperate to
That
pedal
was-
long stuff, aren't we? The four guy.
Yeah.
What about the Gaza interview? Did anyone see that? That was quite funny.
Yeah, I watched that.
Yeah,
Great.
Stunning.
Absolutely
it's funny.
great. The Man United stuff,
Yeah.
don't know how much we can repeat, but the Man United stuff
Wow.
was brilliant.
Yeah,
When he said that he might have fitted in perfectly at Man United.
yeah.
Stuff that was going on there. And how the whole Tottenham thing came about and how difficult it was. And he said that, everyone was after him. He said he was honest. It wasn't difficult to find a club because so many clubs were after him. That was when he's at his big height of his talent. Gaz is someone special. He's someone who's always he's always got a big part of Newcastle heritage. I know some people think he didn't play his best football for us, but it kind of I think that was the spark.
He's a young
That kind of
kid.
went on.
It was the start of his career, wasn't it?
And actually, no, he did play quite well for us. I've looked at his kind of like backstory. The last couple of seasons, he was excellent. He got like 9 or 10 goals in the top flight, and he was only about 19 that season. And then the following season, he did really well. We came 8th, and that's what propelled the move, and we got relegated. But yeah, it was he's one of those players who's probably the best young player maybe who's ever come through the academy, because Beardsley didn't. He was signed back. So yeah, I mean, it's a shame. It's a shame he never. Maybe he should have come back. I don't know. Maybe that'd have been a bad idea at some point.
It's one of those, isn't it? You just don't. You never know when you bring a player back or something, because you could always have a Pogba, because they bring Pogba back and it's an absolute travesty. It just really burnt Man United to the ground, really, a little bit with that whole travesty with that. Whereas De Bruyne was kind of like that seemed like an easy win when you bring him back to the Premier League. I mean, I remember Paul Merson when Man City had bid for him, and he was like, "What's the point? He's not going to do nothing for them." He was a failure at Chelsea, so he's going to fail again. And I think he's kind of regretting those words now, because Paul Merson does talk a lot of rubbish most of the time. The only thing I've given him any credit on is him sticking up for Tonali and gambling addicts, because I actually agree with everything he says, where you have to think about human. Whether it's sensible to lock someone up and just throw them out into the bin when they're have an addiction. Is that healthy? So that's the only credit I'll give Paul Merson, really. Otherwise, his football opinions are just atrocious most of the time. It's always Arsenal win, everyone else loses. That's normally his whole thing.
Yeah, no, it's he's a bit of a strange pundit, but he's still plopping out a few views. It's always interesting that show. What's that show? The Gary Neville, Carragher, and all that lot do. The one where they sit around Ian Wright and they're all eating breakfast.
Oh yeah.
Can't remember the name of it now. That's quite good. But now they put Wayne Rooney on it for some reason, so it's all Man United boys on there.
He's telling me he listens to a what was he said? I can't remember who he said it was now. It was a hairdryer. He has to fall asleep to a hairdryer.
Yeah, that's weird. What the hell's that all about?
He puts in like that noise on to fall asleep to.
And then it burnt onto his leg one night, he said.
Yeah.
Was that Rooney?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he woke up and he's like, "Oh God, this hairdryer's stuck to my leg because it's burnt onto it."
It reminds him of that old lady he shagged.
Okay. Yeah. Nice.
Well, that was something that Gaza brought up as well. Something
Yeah.
that Gaza brought up in this interview.
It's stunning. Absolutely stunning.
Oh man, what a legend!
He was a bit more coherent than usual. Like then I've seen him recently. He seemed a bit more coherent.
Yeah, his interview was very good actually. He was very lucid. But I mean, again, he's got a living carer now that looks after him virtually 24/7, and he takes one day at a time. And good luck to the lad. Like I said, at the end of the day, it must be horrible to be addicted to that, to that degree. And it always reminds me of the like Georgie Best, wasn't it? You know, I always remember that story where he was in that hotel in London, and he's got, I think he's got £1 million on the bed in cash, and Miss World's there throwing this money in the air, and he sends for champagne, and he brings champagne up. His butler does, and Georgie Best opens the door. He's just got his shorts on, and he turns around to George Best, this butler does, and says, "George, can I ask you a question?" He said, "Yeah." He says, "Where did it all go wrong?" You know, and it's really weird, isn't it, when you look at, like you say, Gazza's career, where he could have ended up. I know he had them terrible injuries. I mean, he's had 36 operations on his legs, bless him. I mean, he has struggled since the injuries at Tottenham,
self-inflicted a little bit.
especially the FA Cup final.
That was his own fault.
And his ankle, yeah, exactly. So I mean, he's had some bad luck, but I just don't think he's helped himself to be the pinnacle that he could have been. He was an amazing player. I mean, Alex Ferguson said, didn't he, the only player that got away from him was Gaza. The one he wished he could have signed was Gaza, and that's what I said. I mean, the lad is just a legend for everything that he did.
Yeah, you're right. I agree with you, because that's the one thing that, and Chris also said, "Oh, DSK hates Gaza." I don't hate Gaza at all. I really love what he did in his career, but I just think he could have been one of the all-time world greats. So he had that much. He could have been Maradona. He could have been Pele. He could have been talked, maybe not Pele, but like one on that sort of level, you know, somewhere there. But he had I remember the story that he got the injury at Tottenham in the FA Cup final. It was Gary Charles, wasn't it? He lunged in on him and he
lunged. Yeah.
At the end of the following, so his move to Lazio got cancelled initially, and then he was going to come back for Tottenham, and he decided to go out, and I think he went out, maybe it was Newcastle, but he went out a night out in a club, and he gets into some ruckus with someone, and he fell on his knee, on the injured knee, and he re-injured it, so he was out for another 4 or 5 months.
That's right.
So he never played for Tottenham again, and he went to Lazio at the end of that season, but. Yeah, it's just stuff like that. You feel like it's so self-inflicted that it's kind of he was a great player, and he scored some great goals and brilliant moments. But how great could he have been if he just had been able to keep it together for a few more years after that FA Cup final? He would have gone to Lazio and he would have dominated Serie A, and instead he went there and he was not great. He was great in the SPL, fantastic for Rangers.
For Rangers, my God. What a player! I mean, he was pissed most of the time at Rangers.
Yeah, he said he was doing a lot of cocaine and stuff, wasn't he? He'd go on the pitch and get man of the match and score 2 goals. Couldn't remember it. Go to sleep and wake up the next day and he'd watch the highlights and go, "Whoa, that was amazing that I did that." So yeah,
I wish he signed for us instead of Rangers. That would have been good.
I think we were linked with him. I think Freddie Shepherd said he tried to he wanted to bring Beardsley, Waddle, and Gascoigne back, and he got Beardsley. Waddle nearly got him from Sheffield Wednesday, couldn't quite get him, and Gaza decided he wanted a fresh start somewhere, so he went to Rangers. But
Mason's got a question for Roy about one of our beloved, saying that Ten Hag is going to be sacked and replaced with Southgate. If it's a report by this lad, it will happen. Not gonna happen. It will happen.
The guy's a complete narcissist numpty.
Southgate or Casey?
Well, yeah, Southgate as well. To be fair, horror.
Southgate must be one of the nicest people you probably ever meet, but he's just a skinny Steve Bruce. He's a skinny Steve Bruce.
Steve Bruce was a peloton.
On that subject, we have our usual points of this show because we've been allowed it back. So this might go along with Southgate. Who knows? He'd probably get top of the poll, but let's see who your donkey of the week is.
I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey.
Yeah, so donkey of the week. Is it Chris? Is it not Chris? Is it?
Should be Chris. Numpty of the week.
Numpty of the week. I mean, I don't know if you've all got one, but mine is Southgate. It has to be. I think his tactics, just Lewis Dunk being injured and all these stupid decisions that keeps coming to bite him in the face. Iceland beating them 1-0 and making them look like absolute, amateurs. I mean, I wouldn't even be surprised if we didn't get out of the group right now. I just, it's just shocking. It's boring football with all that attacking nous on the pitch, and that's how you play. Yeah, Southgate's my donkey of the week for 1,000,000%. Has anyone else got any others?
Mine's obvious. I'll let Gary go first.
Mine Southgate, mate. He's literally said exactly what I was going to say. It was just tactically just not there. He was getting the lads to run into the spaces that was literally creating a wall for us not even to get a shot off. And like I said, there was a couple of positives. It was nice to see Gordon start to get back up to match speed, which is only going to get, in the long run. I hope it gets us somewhere. But now he's saying that it was a shame that he got rid of Grealish. He wants Grealish back. He's virtually doing a U-turn on Grealish.
What?
So we'll see. We'll see.
Next thing, he'll bring Rashford back as well.
Is he on drugs?
Yeah.
DX, you got one?
I was. Do you know? I'm struggling to think of another one. To be honest, I'm trying to go through, rack my brains to think what's happened in the last week. You go, Roy, and I'll come back.
Yeah, mine's simple. It's the one and only ITK twat Casey. Fucking hell, man. He just doesn't stop tweeting and posting crap every day. And then you've got some people believe him, and then some people actually send him questions. Like the guy sitting in the office in the middle of St. James's Park, he knows what's happening everywhere. And now he's getting involved with Man U transfers and Arsenal transfers and Fabricio twat. So, yeah, man. And then you got the Tosin. It was the Tosin one that I think a lot of people, because I think he's lost a lot of followers after that. He's done huge cock-ups before, but then this one, he said, signed, done deal. And then somebody asked something, and then he said, it's signed, mate. Don't
worry, mate. He's in the door. He's got the black and white on. Publicity photos have been taken, blah, blah, blah. No.
Yeah, then he's still posting stuff. According to my sources, I've been told. Who's told you what, mate?
Sources.
Just get off Twitter, man. I mean, you don't make money from that. You're not going to make money from Twitter.
He likes the attention, though, doesn't he?
It doesn't matter. He's getting. It's me and a few guys who keep sending him shit every day, so it's okay.
I remember him being on.
He either block me, mate. Either block me or delete your account, because you're not getting rid of the royster. Because I'm a twat as well, and then he's not getting rid of me. Because I know it's bullshit. I work for a sport club, and I know how it works. And effort, being clean.
I remember him being on a show, Casey, and he was saying that they said, how do you get all this information? And he said, a friend of mine works at the club and he has a PO box, access to a PO box there, something like this. I might be slightly off, but he has a PO box there, so he can see all the stuff coming in. And I thought, no, because that's a load of bollocks, because that would be completely illegal. And then why would he be telling you, a random Irish guy, all the details? It didn't make any sense. But my donkey of the week, I'm going to throw Burnley in there just because I think their valuation of James Trafford, if it's true, is
yeah, that's a good
30 to 40 million. Yeah. That's ludicrous.
Maybe an honourable mention to I can't remember what journalist it was who was saying that that Minty is going to have his dream reunion with Arnie Slot, and it's going to be perfect for Liverpool. And aren't Liverpool so great? And what a great football team! And oh my God, wouldn't Minty just be the perfect result for them? Shut the fuck up, you idiot. Seriously, stop trying to sell our players. I mean, that's why we never donkey of the week. All these bloody, is Bruno going? Is Isak going? Are they pondering a move? No, they're not. They've literally both come out in the media and said they love being here. Literally, both of them have said that. I know you can't fathom
Bruno
that.
did mention that if the PSR was as bad and somebody did come knocking, his favoured club would be City.
Did he say that? Oh no, Bruno.
He said that. He has said that.
Wow, because he likes Pep.
So,
doesn't he?
Yeah.
I, I,
Like I
yeah,
said, I mean,
wouldn't-
I would hate him to go to anybody in the Premiership. To be fair,
Yeah.
if he were to sell him, I would rather him go to PSG or something like that, where it doesn't affect us on at all. But to have him for Man City, who, to be fair, have by far got the strongest side, and you look at their side now, and who do you replace him with? You know what I mean? He's got a
Yeah.
chance to go there and sit on the bench as daft as it looks.
That's the thing, isn't it? And he would just be another face in the crowd. That he's a superstar at Newcastle. He's beloved by the
Superstar,
fans.
absolutely.
And his father is getting all this, adulation as well every time he comes to the ground, and like that must mean something to Bruno. I think I feel like he's one of those players who thinks with his heart, not his head. So
I think he's a player who needs that. He plays with his heart on the sleeve. He plays with that, and he's going to go. If he did go to City, he's going to go from Newcastle being, and I know sometimes St James's Park gets it in the neck for being a bit of an anti-climax at times, but trust me, I've been to St James's Park enough times in my life. It can be absolutely ridiculous in there. It can be rocking. It can be unbelievable, and I get goosebumps being in there as a fan. I can only imagine being on that pitch, scoring like some of when I've been there when Bruno scored, and the reaction has just been so amazing. Knowing what I must feel like to be a player can only be 10 times what I feel as a fan. To go to that to a group of fans who pretty much do this.
Yeah.
Their enthusiasm is waning, isn't it, man? Because you saw when they won the league, there was very little turnout for the celebration. So
I think you did get a bit of boredom with winning.
Entitlement. There's a bit of entitlement.
Yeah.
We didn't win it well enough this year.
Yeah.
You know, if he goes, he'll just be another Johan Kabak.
Yeah.
Exactly the same. He's not going to get a game, but he's going to get all the medals and stuff as part of the squad, and he's not going to play much. They've got Rodri and De Bruyne, and they've got loads of players, and Pep always rotates. I mean, if you look at the team, probably there's only 3 or 4 players who always kind of start, including the keeper, Haaland up front, Foden, even Foden.
And he doesn't even mind dropping them sometimes. He's bright,
Yeah, so he's not better than those. He's not better than Rodri.
No.
So maybe they won't need him. And plus, if he goes before the 30th of June, then that means he's going to have to come off City's this year's.
Yeah.
So I've got a feeling.
Probably got a bit of leeway. I think he'll stay at least another year. If we could get back into the Champions League, he'd probably stay.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree. Right, the next one, this can be tough. I have to fit. Well, I think this might be a bit obvious, but have a think for the next 10 seconds of what your moment of the week is. It's less than 10 seconds, Chris. But yeah, moment of the week. I mean, I guess that most of us are probably going to be the same, really, because not a lot's happening in the sphere of football as it is just yet. It ain't gonna be England, I can tell you that for nothing. It might be. I don't know. I'm torn between Trippier coming out captain in England with St James's Park being. I know it's not of the week, but it's in the recent future. That or the obvious one with the Salah, with the light show and getting people at the quayside, getting all together there. Those are 2 ones.
I've got one as well.
I also think the shirts, the shirt release.
Yeah.
Hey,
Exactly what it is.
Oh, have you got it?
Exactly.
No, that's the old one.
Okay. Yeah, Adidas coming home. And the just the videos of kind of those people queuing right round the block, down the stairs, round the back. It was quite something to behold. And then I think who was it? Matty. He went into I can't remember what channel he's part of now. The Magpie channel, I think, and he went into JD Sports, and it was completely empty, and all the shirts were there. But everyone wanted to get the shop. No, it was quite special. The atmosphere there. People said they've been waiting since midnight.
Yeah, the video for me, I think the video was absolutely stunning. To actually bring the release of the shirts out. I know it was leaked before it should have been, but it was emotional. It was morale boosting. It was everything you wanted a shirt release to be, and it was the start. And I think that's the reasons why. I say not the reasons why, because obviously any shirt release for us Magpie fans is always a big thing. But with Adidas coming back home and the way they built it up, well, I think it was just brilliant, the whole thing.
Yeah, it's a beautiful video, wasn't it? It was really well done.
Mm.
Yeah, very nice. So that's got to be in the mix.
Yeah, I think the advert wins it. I think by quite a lot. If we put to about, I think the video would win by quite some distance. I forgot all about the video. How could I forget about that? It's been
it's been a good week. It's been a good week.
It's been hilarious.
And
not to everybody, for some unknown reason. Everybody is still not happy with whatever Newcastle do. There's still people out there, there's fans that are still disgruntled about certain things. And like I said, it doesn't matter what you do, you're not going to be able to please everybody, and we know that. There's always going to be somebody that's out there that just, isn't we were talking about it yesterday, me and Paul, about the new red kit, or the training kit, I should say, not kit. And to me, it's just, vintage. It's what we had in the 70s, in the early 70s, as our second strip, the burgundy, or whichever way you want to call it.
Is that the one that Livramento was wearing?
Sorry?
Is that the one Tino Livramento was wearing in the pictures? The white and the burgundy?
Yeah.
Didn't really like
Yeah. No, exactly. And that's what I said. For me, it was one of the first strips I saw them playing at when obviously I'd seen them at Supermac in '71. That was my first ever game. But because my family are obviously in the Midlands, I was down here in '72 visiting family, and I managed to get to the Hereford game, which we lost. That was the Ronnie Rashford goal that everybody still talks about today. And that's what I said. For me, it just brings back those lovely little memories of yesterday, and that's what I said. Some people forget that we were linked with red back in the day, and from my point of view, it's just a personal thing.
It does make you a Mackham. I mean, just for some of these numbers.
No, it doesn't. Not at all.
These numbers have only supported Newcastle the last 2 years or something. We did used to actually be a team who played in red. Just to give you that heads up about our history. Maybe do some research before you start calling us Mackham lovers just because we have something red. Yeah. Christ, man. Look at some of the historic kits. Or, just have a brain, some people. Again, just some of these fans, I swear.
Yeah, the pictures don't do it justice, to be fair, because it does look quite red in the pictures, but when you see it up close, it's a different colour altogether. It's quite nice.
Okay. What about the away shirt? When's that going to be all in the mix? When are we going to find out about that?
No idea.
I think quite soon. I mean, I know Gordon talked about it in the behind the scenes thing. That they obviously wore it for another advert, or a section of the advert will be out when that gets released. So you do the initial launch, and then I can't remember what it was last time. It was a couple of weeks between the initial launch and then the away launch, and then the third kit's normally nearer to the start of the season, isn't it? Normally,
the season, I would have thought,
yeah. Try and stretch it out.
Green training top, I want. That's my next investment. I think the green training top. That looked absolutely stunning. I love that.
But does look like the away kit's going to be
the old entertainers style, isn't it?
Yeah, looks like the away kit's going to be that little homage to the red and not red, but the one I'm on about. It's going to be that old sort of
rugby one.
Yeah.
We kind of had one of those about 10 years ago that was quite similar, didn't we?
Yes. Yeah.
Puma did one, the 17 or 18.
That old silver one would be nice if they put out something like that. But one for the future.
That was one of my favourites in the day. That was.
Yeah, it's very shiny. I've never had that shirt.
But by the way, I've been told they're a bit on the big side. So if you are large, just go for the medium. So go for the one size down. So I'm gonna try it.
No, you've already ordered this.
Yeah, I've already ordered mine. Mine's on the way. You can actually see my shirt. Sorry, down there. That's the back of it. 69 Gaza.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's on its way. And 69 isn't sexual, by the way. It was a racing number that my friend unfortunately lost his life.
Oh, right.
And I've always my actual racing trike is number 69. Everything that I have, motorbike wise, has 69 on it in memory of him.
Oh, cool. Okay, that's cool.
And that's the last time we've won a trophy.
Oh, yeah, that's
And
true.
that was the other reason I
Yeah.
picked 69, because it was the last silverware. So yeah, well done, Roy, for picking up the link, because that was the other one.
Roy, you're not including the Intertoto Cup and those 2 championships.
Nah, they don't
three
count.
championships.
Yeah,
Come
yeah.
on.
No, they don't
Certain
count.
Chinese sites selling the pro shirt for 10 quid apparently.
Who is? Chinese.
Yeah,
Oh,
Don was saying that, wasn't he? In Malaysia,
mean-
there's the Malaysia side of it were 55 quid. I think it worked out to be for a top.
I think they're real ones, aren't they? I think
I'm not buying fake. I'm going with the real one.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm putting some money in the club.
There's nothing fake about
Exactly.
Roy.
And to the charity as well. You put money into charity as well.
Absolutely.
You know, so there's nothing wrong there with putting a bit of money into the club and a bit of money into the charity. You know, it's win-win. Really is win-win for that. And again, it's something that won't get talked about in the media. I don't even know if Sky Sports have even brought it up, have they? I mean, I know they won't. They probably won't, will they? No. There you go. So,
Oh, the charity thing, yeah.
well, just the fact that we're doing it, because I don't know many other clubs that do that sort of stuff. Again, it's just anything that makes us look positive, they can't put up there, like the investment into the community and stuff, and they make blooming Sir Jim Ratcliffe look like he's bloody Lord and Saviour when they talk to him. Yeah, he wants public money to bail out Man United, and he'll
get rumbled one day.
Give them and big him up as if he's this big bloody thing.
He's a big,
and he's as dodgy as anything, trying to get players from his own other clubs for cheaper as well. You know, and Goldbridge again, like these hypocrites in this sphere is just so funny. Goldbridge is, he's been a hypocrite on himself a few times. He was all against Saudi money, all against it when Newcastle were getting taken over. When they were linked with Qatar money, he was completely different. Everybody podcast, oil me up, I want oil, blah, blah, blah. Moaning on about that. And when that didn't go through, he was like, Sir Jim's going to save us. Sir Jim's going to save us. It's all this bollocks. And then he's happy that they're trying to buy players from their, another squad for underneath market value. Again, it's this whole thing of like, he came out
from Nice, isn't it?
For Nunez, didn't he? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
No, Neves. Sorry, it was Neves. He was annoyed at us. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. And we never took advantage of that. We should have just gone and, well, actually, I don't know. I don't know if the Saudi League would have allowed it.
I think it was just Darren Neal was just playing. No, not Darren Neal. It was Dan Ashworth just playing them off at the own game with that sort of stuff. I don't think we're ever really seriously interested in him at any point.
That's one that rumbles on, isn't it? The Dan Ashworth. We haven't heard anything on it for a couple of weeks. It's gone kind of calm.
On quiet, yeah.
Yeah, we've not heard the thing yet.
Maybe that means something's happened.
It's limbo, isn't it? It's just like we're not gonna, and I'm happy we're doing this. We're not just gonna, we're not just gonna let them go.
Show me the money.
Man United want to pay, if they want him, they pay the money. It's simple transaction.
Would that? I wonder if that would cover our asses if suddenly they banked in £20 million for Ashworth. That would be like, okay, we're good. We don't know that we need to sell a player anyway.
We don't know what the numbers are. This is what me and Paul were saying yesterday. If you look at it, and again, Ben Jacobs was saying that we've only got £50 million to spend. Now, I don't know how he gets to know these figures because they're not obviously out there in the public eye. But if you work on those figures alone, what we were saying yesterday, we've got to pay 30 million for Hall. We've just bid 15 million for Trafford, but 16 million, say. It only leaves 4 million to get a striker, a right winger, and a centre half. I mean, where do people get these figures from? It doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Kelly. Skilled if we get Dummett back. No, but with Ben Jacobs, I think some of what he says might have some validity behind it. But I do remember he was on another channel once, and I just wanted to test him out, so I just made up a player name. I said, what about Spartak Moscow's Hesingor Getling or something? He just made up a name. And he went on, no, he's a good player. And, and I was like, I've just made that up. That's not a player. So I think sometimes you might.
That's a good one. That.
It sounded like a player, but he was really good. Yeah.
It's
So,
like I tore a bollock off or something like
no, it wasn't quite that. I made it quite subtle.
that. IP
yeah,
daily.
Yeah, IP freely. No, he was yeah, he was convinced. He was like, yeah, she's a good player. I know he is, but yeah, but yeah, I just think it's going to be interesting to see. This is an interesting window because there was an article. Was it in the what was it, the Mirror, or I can't remember now, but they put an article. It might be in the Mail, and they said Aston Villa, Newcastle, Chelsea, Palace maybe, and Forest and Everton all have to sell a player to adhere to PSR, and then they retracted the article a couple of hours later.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. I wonder why they.
Well, even Sky have retracted it, haven't they? And that's what I said. If you think about it, Sky were the one who obviously put it out there first, saying that we had to sell. And literally, you've heard nothing since. Well, you have heard something since, apart from Chelsea. Chelsea now don't have to sell a player, and it's like, how can these players, how can these clubs that are
That's the one that spent the most.
Yeah,
I don't get that.
How can they not be in trouble? It doesn't make any sense to me.
They bought Casado for 115. I know it's amortized or whatever, but they bought him for 115. They bought Fernandes 107, Mudryk 89, Cucurella 62. This is all in the space of a couple of years, and they didn't sell that many. They sold Hall to us for 28. But yeah, it's a bit like, how are they doing this?
Well, currently, Mount sale to Man U got them out of a lot of trouble. Apparently, that's what they're basing it on.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's the monetization side of it, isn't it?
Yeah,
How you get it over because what they were doing very cleverly was this 8-year contract, which got them out of the crap. And obviously that was soon stopped, but it still didn't stop them doing it. And it's like I said, it's like bolting the gate after the horse has buggered off, isn't it?
Exactly. So they've had the advantage of doing that.
They've had the advantage, absolutely. There was a loophole, and they took advantage of that loophole, and that's what I said. It just drives you insane where these clubs get the opportunity to do that.
Yeah, there's got to be some loopholes for us to jump into because we're just like every corner you think, oh, that might work. The FA or whatever, the Premier League will come down and say, no, we're putting this barrier in. Newcastle can't do that, or we're not letting you loan players from affiliated clubs. We're not letting you do that. It's like we can't seem to get a break, So I don't know what's going to happen.
I've got a fun fact as well. So if you think of any. Last one of the show, last feature of the show. So mine's a quiz question. We'll see how many people get this. So it happened on this day, the 9th of June in 2015. Maybe I don't know how vague to be. Should I just leave it that vague? Something happened in 2015 on the 9th of June. Does anyone remember what it was?
2015. We went down in 2015, didn't we? Or 2016?
No, 16.
2016.
Oh, McLaren. Did he get
wait. Umbrella?
No, maybe that's Sack Jonas by SMS?
No, it wasn't that, no.
Not Stevie Boy McLaren, then.
It wasn't McLaren, no. You're getting warmer to the crap. It's definitely.
Carver got sacked.
Yeah, you got it. Carver and Stone got relieved of their duties for Newcastle United on
best manager in the world.
9th of June 2015 was when Carver got sacked. Finally, I mean that guy. Jesus Christ.
We only won one game that whole year. Well, no,
we were like 8
from January
when he took over. We were 8.
Yeah.
And we got like 1 point out of 11 games or something, and suddenly went into the last game needing to win. It's like, how has this happened? Bizarre.
I think we won 30 points by January 1st.
Yeah. And then
they went to Dubai, supposedly to train. Absolutely pissed every night. All of them. The team went back and couldn't win a game.
Yeah,
Disaster.
I remember Carver saying something because he did get 1 win right at the beginning. He had about 18 games, I think, and he was going after about 10 games. We'd have 1 win and 2 draws, and he goes, "I know that we've done really well these first 10 games. A win and 2 draws. That's in the Premier League very hard to get." And I was thinking, no, you're talking rubbish. We just lost like the last 3 or whatever. He didn't have a clue really. And probably quite a nice man. And he would always go on about Sir Bobby, wouldn't he, being Sir Bobby's assistant? I work for Sir Bobby. I work for Sir Bobby.
He bleeds black and white, but he did say some. I mean, that interview killed his career when he said that he was the best manager in the Premier League, and that he truly believed that obviously he wouldn't be doing the job. I mean, I get what he's trying to say, but you don't say stuff like that when you're in that type of form. It just made him look a bit foolish, really, sadly. Like I said, I think he had every best intention for Newcastle, but just was never good enough. Never good enough for us. I mean, whether we do, I'll do it because it'd be, I find that sort of stuff interesting. But I do a whole hour on the John Carver days.
That would be interesting. Yeah,
have we got an hour?
We should analyse. We should go game by game over his reign as manager.
Jesus!
Yeah.
The highlights.
There was some shockers.
The off season, isn't it?
Yeah.
Go through some matches now just to keep people's eyes open.
Go through the days, go through the blooming Steve Bruce, really, get into the real mud of Newcastle United.
Do you remember we had a game against Leicester when Carver was the manager? I think we lost 3-0. It might have been at home. I don't know. But anyway, Williamson got sent off. And at the end of the game, Carver was saying, well, he basically said he deliberately got sent off or something. And it really caused a ruckus in the club. Apparently, they were like fuming, understandably. What a thing to say about a professional. Yeah. Especially Williamson was a good guy. He wouldn't have deliberately done it. Just wasn't a very good player. So, yeah, not a good time. And then we got McLaren. Oh my God.
Yeah, that was even worse. He spent almost 80 million as well that summer.
I know. They gave him too much money. Yeah, they gave him so. And you're thinking, we give him money. Why?
And then, I don't think he had any say in the deals, though, did he? Mitrovic, he didn't even know they were. I don't think, and Bemba and all that.
No, he didn't have a clue.
Yeah. Why not? Wijnaldum was a good one, but look what happened.
Yeah, Mitrovic. He was the best boy, wasn't he?
And we got Townsend and
Torvan. We got Torvan.
Torvan would have been good, but he needed a better manager, I think. And Townsend and Shelby, and who was that guy who looked about 70? Dumbia.
Oh, Dumbia. Oh,
One game or 2 games? Yeah.
Yeah, two sub appearances. He was like 26, but he clearly wasn't 26. Basically, there were lots.
Yeah, I guess so.
Roger.
The problem with Mitrovic, he just kept getting sent off.
I'll never forget that one when under Rafa. We were winning. It was West Ham. We were beating them 3-0. We were comfortable. There was nothing going wrong in the game. All going well.
Yeah.
For no reason, Mitrovic got himself sent off, and that's the reason that Rafa got rid of him because he couldn't trust him.
Yeah,
couldn't trust him now.
People pissed at him.
Have we got any chats that we need to cover, Paul?
Yeah.
Before we say farewell.
I don't know. I mean, looking at it,
I haven't either, mate. I've got the full screen up.
There's a few. There's a few here, starred ones.
Sorry,
go on then.
Okay, wait a minute. We got a new member.
Oh, thank you,
Georgie Eaton. Well done, buddy.
We got our good friend Neil in the chat here, as Paul calls him. Anyway, Minter goes after signing him, and Eddie didn't want him. And this is a good point again from Niall. It's about like if Bruno went there, possibly if Silva and De Bruyne are leaving, it could be a thing. Other than that, I wasn't actually starring the comments, but we can go through. What have we got? Something about Klopp. I haven't actually read that. That's very true.
He is good.
Yeah, can't fault that.
Biggest proof is have a look at our game against them with 10 men.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did destroy us.
It was like a game of chess that, and he kicked his ass.
We were just tactically inept then, though, mate. To be fair, instead of just doing a little bit more of a mid to low block, and we were already winning the game. Unfortunately, Eddie still had that mentality to go and stick another 2 or 3 past them, and that's not what you do. When they go down to 10 players, you use the ball, tire them out, and then work the channels. And it's just to me that this is where I believe Eddie fails a lot of the time. He just doesn't He's done it more this season because he's had to, where the lads have just run out of steam, and he's literally then just gone to a mid to low block and then just literally worked on the counter. And I think he's seen the difference this year. But unfortunately, that wasn't because of the tactics. That's because he hadn't got any bench to put on the players that were actually running on fumes.
Believe me, together we can change history.
So, word of encouragement from the Windmeister. He sends his apologies, everyone. He just couldn't make it tonight. He's got some stuff on, but he does appreciate everyone asking where he is and keep an eye on him. But he's just busy with some ladies in a district, and the police are there, and it's a whole big thing. And we just can't. The lawyers are going to have to represent him again, and it's just the warden's annoyed because he got out of the home. It's the usual win party where it's all gone wrong.
With his name is Bonani.
Any other points before we shoot off, lads? Or
what's this? Would you guys make? Oh, this is.
No. Question to everybody here who's getting a shirt. What are you going to put at the back? Which player?
What?
No, I'm not. I'm picking a player. I'm trying to be safe because every time I pick someone, he's sold. So I'm not. I'm going to try.
If I had to go for a player, I'd probably go for Bruno G. Because...
Well, obviously mine. Mine's an homage to myself, obviously being Gary, and obviously to the Gascoigne, Gaza. And that's what I virtually always have on my shirts.
I went for a safe bet. My lookalike Fabian Schär.
What with the chisel chin? Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, we look just like me and him. Yeah.
Yes.
People stop me in the street and ask me if I'm him. So
I'm thinking I'm going to go with Tonali.
Yeah. So
he's not going to be sold, so that's the one.
What about Dan Burn? Go for a Burn. He'll hang around for a while.
No, I'm not getting Burn.
Lloyd Kelly, get Kelly on the back. Come on.
Lloyd Kelly, yeah.
Take a risk for once.
Maybe Isaac, because my daughter's born on the 14th, so it could be that one.
Yes, Key. I was just about to say that this needed to be added. This is the only thing that was missed out from the Salah, last night. So this is what should have been on Salah.
Oh, don't give it to Burn. Don't give it. Oh, just hoof it, man. Oh, we passed it back to him, and he.
Hoof the twat! Fuck's sake, man!
How did they miss that?
I'm glad the season is over.
It was a tiring season, wasn't it? Right?
It was, and then
the
worst bit. I think our worst game was Man City Cup final. That was the worst game.
Oh, the quarterfinal.
Yeah.
No. Man City against Man U.
Oh, that one. Sorry.
That's the worst game. I was more gutted then than our games. So, because it turns out that Everton one with Dummett, if we had the extra 2 points, it wouldn't change anything.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So it was the City cooking it up.
Maybe this should have been on the Baltic Mill as well.
Yeah.
Right. I'll tell you what I'm going to do, boys. I'm going to get a lucky bottle of Brune.
Okay. Brune for the tune. Come on, do it. Villa coming forward in their game. They're now all over Brentford, by the way. We have the ball. We're playing much better now.
We are playing much better, yeah.
On the left.
I'm keeping it in.
Barnes with a great ball in. Oh, chance.
Wow.
That's in. Bruno.
Poker face. How good am I? I knew it about 4 seconds ago.
That's great.
Come on, Bruno.
Just
rule that one out.
Come on.
See, get the Brown Ale and we score. That's
and on cue, West Ham have gone 2-1 up.
That's all right.
On
We'll
cue.
let them have the win as long as we can have our win.
Right on cue.
Well, I never.
Bruno,
lucky bottle of Brune works every time.
He hasn't done a lot today, but he found the net.
Nice ball from Anderson to start it.
Exactly. Another easy miss from the Salah guys. I mean, just reach out to us next time, Salah. We're just here. We won't charge much for our videos. 250 grand. That's fine. We'll allow it. It's fine.
Pay our mortgages off, we'll be fine.
Shaving live.
Yeah, shave life for sale. Here's
Yeah,
a
it'll
good
be a
one.
good one, that one. I remember that one because my thing was about 30 seconds ahead of you guys.
Yeah.
And then every time I went quick, and then Chris would be like, "That's your final warning, you twat." What am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
Go like that when we score? And then, okay, so we score, and then Dom, you said, "Oh, we're playing well," and that's what that we were when we scored.
And you just went quiet, and I didn't pick
Poker
up on it.
face, yeah, poker face.
You were like Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
It was Bruno who scored as well. I had the
Yeah.
Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah, that was a nice shirt.
Yeah, it's from I can't remember the website. It's a website from England, but when it came from China.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh god.
So you order it, and then basically those lads, I think, get the
Oh.
order sent to China with their address, and it comes from China. Obviously, it costs like probably £2, and I can't remember how much I paid, 25 or 30.
It's not bad though.
It's worth it though. It's worth it though. Yeah, you can get your own picture on it as well.
Yeah. It's
Might
pretty
get
I
win.
think we're there, lads.
Oh, there's one more thing.
Oh yeah, go for it. Yeah.
What do we get? What do we get for? Well, it's this guy here. You lost the thing. The prediction
me.
league. Yeah. What
That's
are we
true.
getting?
I've been thinking about I've got to send something to a fan, haven't I, or something?
Oh yeah.
I was thinking about a book or something. I've been struggling to come up.
Book.
Maybe I don't know
Something from Anne Summers.
what-
It's not a mag.
Harvey Barnes card. There you go.
Harvey Barnes card.
No, I'll get something better than that. Obviously.
Lucky
Anne
winner.
Summers. A worn pair of pants.
Oh,
You pay a lot on
Oh.
eBay for those. No,
I think we'll do that in a month. I think we'll do the draw, and then think of something good to send out, and then no doubt Ian or Queen will win it because they seem to be the only winners of the things we do. And then Beerbucken gets very upset because he thinks it's all rigged. So maybe you'll win. Oh, they're all going on it again. They're all the shavers are in the chat.
No.
All the shavers are in the chat.
God, you don't know what you wish. You don't know what you're asking for. Never seen Roy with a bald face. I haven't.
But on that bombshell, everyone, I think we'll leave it there. But thank you for coming. Really appreciate it. I'm not sure on the logistics of the next few days because Chris hasn't told me. So I'm sure we're doing a video at some point, probably tomorrow, but I don't know what it is. I don't know what it'll have in it. So we'll just keep an eye on because I haven't know. Does anyone else know? Because I haven't got a very clue.
I'm not too sure actually.
It's not American Mags.
Mr. Royston knows.
when are you guys doing your hoof the twat?
Oh yeah, we're going to do a pre-record pilot of our show.
Yeah.
Everyone in the chat, and then the first one might not go live. We're not sure, but then it will go live after that. So keep your eyes open for that. Hoof the twat. It's going to be quite.
Press like, yeah.
Yeah.
Press the like button.
Different show.
It's going to be different, and it's going to be, well, hopefully good. Because if it's shit, well, oh, no. It won't be shit. It won't be shit.
It won't be magnificent.
Oh, there's no Chris on it, so it won't be shit.
Oh, Chris is getting old tonight, isn't he?
Give me
I love being in charge of the buttons. Right, guys, thanks for supporting us. On your way out, hit the like. If you hate Sunderland, hit the likes. That's always a good way to get it. Thanks for following us. Thanks for the new member. All that good stuff. Thanks for following the show. I know I know we're drying up because it's the Euros and there's not a lot to talk about, but we'll keep it going. We'll be linked to 10 million players, I'm sure, and we'll get into pre-season sooner than you know it. So we do appreciate you still following, even in the even in the quiet times when it comes to Newcastle. So thank you so much for that. And tell Chris off, because we want the Euros on this channel. So tell Chris that he's a numpty. And that we need the Euros on this channel because we can talk about Gordon and Trippier. So tell Chris off that he's wrong and we're right.
Which channel has he got it on? The American mag or
the second channel? But I think you should find this channel.
Everybody boycott the other one, yank one. Stay on this one.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right,
getting cancelled tonight.
You'll never ever beat Dan Burn. He's from Blythe. You'll never ever beat Dan Burn. He's from Blythe. He's from Blythe.